Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Real Talk with Realtors about real stuff, real things, and whatever else is on our mind. So today we have special guests, Natalie and Riley. I guess I should say our last names too. Natalie Fresky and Riley Butterfield, not to be confused with Wakefield. I know, you were the first field. I'm an imposter. So they started their very own transaction coordinating and listing management business. So we're going to talk more about what that entails, what your guys' experience is, why you decided to get into the business, and where it's going to go from here. So we're super excited.
Well, okay. So first of all, thank you guys for being here. We are so excited about your new endeavor.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your experience in the industry and as transaction coordinators and listing managers.
So I started with you, the Laffins Team, 7 years ago.
Yeah, time flies.
I know. It's crazy. Started as a transaction coordinator and then ended up slowly getting into listings. And then we hired Riley a few years later, and she just transitioned into doing the listings, and then I just did the transactions. Ended up getting my license somewhere in there.
So you meaning your real estate license?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, my real estate license.
And I don't want to, maybe this is something we're going to ask later, but what exactly is transaction management? I mean, it sounds very official and difficult.
I know a lot of people like outside of the real estate world are always like, what? What do you
is
do?
that? What is that?
So basically, we just kind of handle the escrow transaction from start to finish. So once the agent gets the buyer or seller into contract, we kind of handle it. We open up escrow, we order inspections, do all the paperwork, anything that needs to be done from the beginning to the time we close.
Right. I mean, you guys just pretty much make sure that we have all our T's crossed.
We're basically here to make sure all you guys have to do is sell, and we're handling all the back end stuff.
I mean, the agent does all of the negotiations.
Yes.
The agent negotiates the request for repairs, but you handle all the millions of pieces of paperwork that need to be signed.
Yes.
During the escrow process.
Yes.
And I think I've had a TC for, I don't know, 10, 12 years, something like that. I can't imagine now not having one.
Yeah.
And it's so beneficial to the client.
Yes.
So that's why I think every agent should have a transaction coordinator. It's getting another set of eyes on all of the thousands of pieces of paper.
And there's a lot.
It is. It's a lot of work. So, but transaction management is once you get into contract. Listing management is a little bit different. And maybe, Riley, you can tell us a little bit about what it means to be a listing manager.
Yeah. So for me, my stuff's kind of before escrow, right? So I kind of help get the photos scheduled, kind of get the listing ready, like make sure that the staging's scheduled. I handle the description, all the input into the MLS. And I also handle showings. So scheduling showings with the client and the other agents that would like to see it. So mostly my work is due before the escrow. And then once it gets into contract, that's kind of when it gets handed off to Natalie. So.
And as I am primarily a listing agent, and I can tell you, I can't live without a listing manager or a transaction manager. But the listing manager, the one thing that I hate is, hi, can I show your listing at 123 Main Street tomorrow at 11? Then you call your seller. Yes, 11 works. Okay, then you call the agent back. Yes, 11 works. And then the agent calls you back and says, actually, they're running a little late. We need to change it to noon. And then you got to start that process all over again.
Totally.
And it just, as an agent, for any agents out there that are listening to this, having somebody like Riley is a huge, I mean, you don't know how much time you're working on those little details. It sucks. It's a time suck. Yeah. And so when you could be working on other things, negotiating good transactions for your clients or showing property or getting new listings or spending time with your kids, not doing that kind of stuff. So to me, you are both very totally invaluable. I mean, I
appreciate
you're like our right and left arm.
Yes.
So
sometimes it's torso.
Seriously, can you work on my abs? Come on now. I'll take your torso.
Stop.
Okay. So why are you starting your own business?
So I think for me and for us. I wanted to grow. Like, I want to grow as a person. I want to grow in my career, possibly make more money. And so I'm like, how do I do that, but also work with the Laffins team? Like, you guys are family. I've been with you guys for 7 years, so you are family, you know? So we were just kind of chatting, like, why don't we start our own TC company that way? We're still doing what we're doing, but then we can grow and still work with the Laffins team. And I just wanted to share, there's this Steve Harvey clip. I think he was talking to his audience on the Family Feud show. And he was just talking about life and talking about growing. And he says, you got to do things to make you feel uncomfortable. That's how you're going to grow. And he talks about jumping. You just got to jump. You just got to do it. So that's always stuck with me in like certain things in my life. I just kind of jump. And so we're jumping. We're jumping. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's so true. Like, the things that scare you the most is where the direction you should go in.
Yeah.
As long as it feels right.
Right. And it's like, if you don't take that step or if you don't jump, you never know. I mean, there's a chance that we could fail, but we won't know until we've actually got out there and done it. So, yeah.
And the thing is, too, is you guys have so much experience already. And the realtors in Chico already know who you are. We've worked with every single realtor in Chico. Every single realtor has heard from Natalie at one point or another. Yeah. So they know how good you guys are and diligent. And I think just because you have that reputation, it's going to be easy for you to onboard other realtors, like, truly.
I hope
so. I think it'll be so good. And starting a business in something that you already know so well.
Exactly.
Like, you're not changing jobs.
Right.
You're just creating your own bubble, you know, and your own like web of people. So.
Yeah. And that was another thing. We're like, we've been doing it for a while. So
you don't have to learn anything new on the doing the job side. You have to learn the like business.
New business. Exactly.
Which is fun. I mean, I've had a blast learning business with Brandy, and Brandy's taught me so much about it. So you guys are, and you have us always, no matter what happens, the Laffins team is,
no getting rid of us.
No,
with you guys.
no,
sorry.
no. And we would
blood. They get blood and pinky swear.
We would never want that. Cool. Okay, you want to go next?
Yes, I do. Well, I already know the answer to this, and we'll see what you guys come up with. But now there's other TC companies out there, and there's other TCs out there, and some are amazing, like you guys. Mm-hmm. I think you're the best, but and some aren't, or some just don't provide the level of service that you provide. So tell us what's going to set you apart from other transaction coordinators.
I think I want to highlight a few things. One thing is that there's actually 2 of us, which I think I haven't seen personally. A lot of independent TCs have multiple people. I've kind of just seen one. So that means more availability to the agent. So if I'm not available, Natalie is either way. So
you're a TC team.
TC team, exactly. So
we know how to do each other's job.
Yeah, exactly. So even if Natalie's working on an escrow, I can kind of jump in too, or if I need help on a listing, she can jump in. So we're just more time and availability for agents that want to come to us and need help. So I think that's a big thing too. We're also going to offer kind of like a social media aspect. I don't think I've seen a lot of TCs do that. So I think when it comes to listings, we kind of want to offer kind of like a social media thing where I can help them post about their listings and whatnot. So I think that's kind of a new thing that I haven't seen much. So
a little bit of marketing.
Yeah, exactly.
Management side of it.
Totally.
Okay. I mean, the part about if one of you is not available, I mean, for me, you guys have always, and for the team, have always been available, even on weekends and, crazy time, especially when you're scheduling appointments, I mean, and that's another thing that you do. You schedule all of the inspection appointments and help arrange. I mean, I know you have different packages, and I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but I just feel like once the contract is in escrow, once you get the transaction going, it's your deal. Is that Evel Knievel out there? I swear to God. Okay. Sorry, you're gonna have to cut. Or you could leave it in. Anyway, that's what's so nice about it. It's it's not as
It's not
crazy
bad,
as when
yeah.
you see it on the $1 million listing where they're like, yeah, baby, write up the contract and send it over and get it signed. Click. It's not quite that, but it's kind of that.
Yeah,
It's,
that's the
which
kind of
is
feel, yeah.
which is what I think a lot of agents need. I mean, we're all going crazy trying to, especially when the market was really crazy.
Yeah.
But still, if you want to continue to sell as many and close as many transactions as we all have been, we need that extra help to make sure that we're in front of the right people and doing the right things to increase our business, basically.
Yeah, that's what
So-
we're looking for.
Okay, so you guys have options. You have packages,
Options,
pricing
yes.
packages, which I think is super smart because I think depending on
Yeah.
the level that the agent's at, they might have less or more needs, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us about those.
So we have 3 different type of packages for the transaction side and the listing side. Yeah, like you said, we wanted to make it super optional for agents, whether they want little to no involvement with us, where our first package is kind of our cheaper one, where we just handle the paperwork for you. I understand some agents kind of don't want, they'd still like to have some control, which I totally understand. So our first, for the transaction side, our first package is kind of just making sure the paperwork gets filled or completed. And then all the way to our most expensive one, it goes through everything through, like Natalie mentioned before, scheduling inspections, all the way to making sure it's completed from beginning to end, and then having some little bit of extras that could be added on as well. And we still want to make it super, even if something's not on that certain package that you want, we're totally open to making sure that it customizes to the agent. Yeah. Same on the listing side. The cheaper one is obviously just MLS input only. As soon as it's inputted, I have no longer work on that anymore. But and then obviously the most expensive one is adding that social media aspect. The middle one is where you'll still get me scheduling the showings for you, making sure the lockbox is on. It just doesn't have that social media side.
Okay.
So just trying to make it super optional. And like I said, we'll still kind of gauge it to what the agent wants as well.
Okay. And then for the TC, what's the differences between the middle, maybe like the middle and the highest?
So for the lowest, we're just kind of collecting paperwork. We're letting the agent know, hey, we need this signed. We're not really interacting with the client. We're not really interacting with anybody else. It's just more, I'm going through your file, your broker's file, and letting you know what needs to be signed.
Broker's audit kind of thing, or
Yeah.
I mean a file audit.
Yeah. And then the middle is, that. And then I'm ordering inspections and I'm a lot more involved in the escrow. And then the highest is that, along with just any little extras that you might need. Like if maybe you call me up when you're gone on the weekend and you need me to do something, I'm there, or just something unexpected comes up during the escrow that you kind of have to handle and the agent just can't be there. So I'm there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You mean like that time that there was a homeless guy in the house and the cops showed up and it was Saturday and I didn't even know it was happening. Someone happened to call me and go, hey, I saw the cops at your listing. And then I think I texted you guys or something happened. You're like, oh yeah, we already handled that. That was like 4 hours ago.
Yep. Exactly. Situation just
So
like that.
let it be known that we will always need the highest package. Very, very, very cool. I really like that. Okay, so last but not least.
Okay, so what's your favorite thing about transaction management?
I really enjoy when the agents call me up or they come into the office and they have a problem and we kind of sit there together and, work out a solution, or I kind of give them my advice on what I think. And I know that, obviously they're the agent, but it's just fun to kind of work through the problem, and I enjoy getting a solution. And then also I kind of feel important. I'm like, all right, I help the agent out.
Like I always say, I mean, the Laffins team does roughly 200 transactions a year. So, but maybe one agent does 10 transactions, another agent does 20, another does 50. Natalie does all 200. So you've seen a lot of files. You've seen a lot of
Definitely.
addendums.
Yep,
You've seen a
yep.
lot of ways that we work through problems. You've helped problem solve. Sometimes
I learned from the best.
sometimes like not even like, oh, well, yeah, this is what we did and we fixed it already. Like if it was something minor, nothing that we were going to get sued over or anything like that. But that's what's so great is having somebody that just takes initiative. And goes, I know we've solved this problem before, so I'm just going to go ahead and solve it. And I love that. That's amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
My favorite. Don't forget about me. No.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting.
My favorite thing, I think what Natalie said too, but just the relationships I've created, even with the agents and the clients that we help.
Yes.
I think it's super big, and I love. Even Brandy, you sent me a message of our
Yes.
seller liked our little postcard that we sent out. I don't know, just like the little things. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, just helping people get the home that they want. I still feel like I'm involved in that. So.
Right, and you know, all of our clients comment about how much they love working with you guys and what a great team we have, and we are so lucky. But I do want to ask one more question.
Ooh.
What's your least favorite thing about transaction management?
That's
we can cut this if we need to, but I want to see what they're going to
absolutely
say.
love it.
Nothing.
What? I guess I don't know.
Okay, good. You're stumped.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Are you guys going to use Trello?
What explain kind of why we use a system like Trello and how that can benefit the agent and the client?
Yeah, so Trello, it just has, all of our information as far as like who we're in escrow, like the escrow officer, our important dates, any inspections. We can upload inspections on there, and we just kind of go on there day to day and just check things off. Okay, we got the contingency removal for the inspection, and we can also send an invite to the client, so the client can get on this board and kind of see where we are at during the entire escrow.
Yeah, we use Trello mostly for contingency removal dates because the client's like, when is that? And I'm like, oh, let me look.
Yeah.
Because, you have 8 escrows. You don't have that stuff. I don't even have it memorized with one escrow. So there you go. It's crucial.
Okay, so how can people get a hold of you? Like, where can they find out? How do they get a copy of your agents, obviously, get a copy of your different descriptions of your packages?
Totally. We're kind of just obviously starting out. So right now I just have a Facebook and Instagram. I will be posting the price sheet and what we offer on our Instagram. So that's kind of our main hub right now, but we will be working on a website to where you guys can access that. But we also are available by phone number, email. Yeah. So.
I think for now, maybe just find us on Instagram and and Facebook, and then just text us. So we're 2 Chicks Real Estate Transactions. Our handle is 2chickstc.
Yeah, email and phone number.
Natalie at 2chickstc.com, and Riley is Riley at 2chickstc.com.
Okay. Do you want to give your cell on the pod or no?
Sure. It is 925. Area code 628-9909.
Yes. Mine is 530-519-6575. I almost forgot my phone number. So that's cool.
Little pause there.
Yeah.
Well, we're so excited for you guys, and I think it's super cool. And we look forward to continue working with you forever.
Yes. You're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. So
thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.